Hello, this is Jeanine-Marie, and I'd like to thank you for joining me in this audio recording and teaching on dealing with relationship betrayal. I'm so happy to have you here. I know if you're interested in this subject, you're going to glean a lot from the steps that I present to you. So stick with me and let's get to it. Well, I'm so glad that you decided to stay with me while we discuss the subject and topic on how to deal and recover with a relationship betrayal. Now, first, I just want to put this forward. Sometimes when we think of the context of a relationship, we automatically go with our mind to romantic relationship, right? Because those are the things that seem to have the most power punch when we go through any type of a discord or a betrayal. But a betrayal can happen between friends, it can happen with family members, it can happen in many different dynamics, even people that we work with. We have relationships with people, and we're supposed to have those things going on with people, right? We live in this world and we don't live in a vacuum. We live in a place where we're going to relate to one another, and thus relationship. So it can be a romantic relationship, it can be a friendship, it can be a family member relationship or someone we work with. It could be a neighbor that we get really close to and it becomes a friendship. So, there are a lot of dynamics surrounding the connections that we have with one another, and we're supposed to have those things. We're supposed to create connections. And with every connection, there is always the risk of misunderstanding or the risk of a betrayal. And it can look like in a romantic relationship, maybe cheating on your partner, or it can look like lies behind your back. It can look like a friend deceiving you or talking to other people about you in a way that is a lot less than flattering. It can be undermining you in a work environment or a workplace. There are a lot of different types of betrayal, and all of them are emotionally packed. And depending on who you are and what the dynamics of how you're made up or what kind of traumas you've experienced in the past or what you're still holding on to on the inner part of yourself, we all handle betrayals and difficult situations with relationships in different ways. So, we can be packing some dynamite inside, right? Because we've gone through so much. And usually it's not our fault. The only responsibility we need to take is to recognize that we have those things and to acknowledge those things. We might even warn people of those things and understand that it is our responsibility to care for the inner landscape of our emotions and our traumas and healing some of those places on the inside that kind of make the journey a little bit more difficult if we don't do the work. So I want to get off of the work as far as trauma goes, because that's a whole other subject I can go into, and get into the work about healing and dealing with emotional or relationship betrayal. And of course, any betrayal is going to be emotional. So, number one, the first thing that we need to do is accept that it's happened. How many of us have decided that, oh my goodness, this has happened, but then we go to these places in our mind where we second guess our instincts. And usually, the very first instinct that we have is our intuition telling us that something wrong has happened. Trust your intuition. Investigate your intuition. Make sure that what you're feeling, what you're sensing, what you might even be seeing is something that is what you think that it is a betrayal. And once you do that investigating, once you understand that something like that has happened to you, accept the reality. Don't go back, don't backpedal. Accept that this has happened. It's become a part of your present life, and it's something that you now have to deal with. And it becomes a part of that inner landscape. Thankfully, when you catch it right at the beginning and you're not in denial and you have accepted it, you can get it to the point where you're dealing with it now so that it does not become something embedded inside of you and another trauma that you're going to carry on to the rest of the part of your life. It could be a relationship with a child, an adult child, or that falls into the category of family member, but let's be real. Things between parents and children, they're very sensitive. They're sensitive almost as much as the romantic betrayal. So, it does happen. It really does. So, first things first, accept that it has happened and realize that this is something that you have to work on or you need to work on. And of course, it's your choice. We don't have to really do anything. But once again, like I said, you leave it alone and it's going to come into your home later. So once you have accepted that something has happened and someone has betrayed you, and betrayal can only happen when something is connected, like two people are connected with each other in a way where your emotions can be really triggered. When somebody does something like lies to you or tries to bait you into a situation you don't want to be in. There are a million different ways betrayal can happen, right? But once you have accepted it, it can be extremely beneficial for you to talk about the experience. You need to get it out. And if you've been listening to me or reading my blog anytime, any amount of time, that's what I want to say, you will know I'm a communicator. And I'm really big on getting everything out. And why is that? I'll just give you a little segue here. During the first part of my life, most of the first part of my life, I didn't communicate about anything. I was a very shy person, and shyness is not a personality trait. Shyness is fear. Fear of expression. Afraid of what might happen if you express. And it could be something that's true, it could be something that's imagined, but either way, it's very real. And sometimes we carry that into part of our early adult life, and we don't become as much of a communicator until later on. And some of us just don't at all because we haven't worked on it or realized that, saying, oh, I'm just a shy person is not reflective of a personality, or a part of your personality, but it's reflective of fear, and you can get over that fear. So anyway, talking about your experience exposes it. And once something is exposed, it takes the temperature of what happened and how you feel about something down several notches. And it could really kind of take that temperature way down, or maybe just a little bit. Maybe you need to talk for a little while. Maybe you need to just talk it out with God and, nobody in a human body present. But sometimes, just having a good listener is worth its weight in gold. They are worth their weight in gold if they just listen and don't try to interject their own stuff into your experience. Somebody who is wise might do that, and you might accept something from a trusted friend. But getting things out. It takes the dynamite out of some of the pain. And that doesn't mean all of it's just going to instantly go away, right? We know that in this world, in this body, in this experience, that just does not happen. Because when we take the shortcut and think or believe that somehow something magically instant is going to happen, and everything will be fine once we get it out, right? Mount St. Helens has erupted and it has completely settled down. It's just not going to happen that way. It is a process, and learning through the process is where we want to be. We want to grow, we want to heal, we want to learn through all of that process. Use and utilize all of your life experience, including betrayal, because it is a real ouch. It will bring out so much other stuff. I mean, seriously, one thing that happens to you can bring out just a multitude of stuff that you think to yourself, wow, I didn't even know that was in there, right? So, you'll be really surprised and shocked. So the next thing that you can do is implement self-care and make it a priority in your life. Now, a lot of times, especially if we are caregivers, if we are taking care of a household, if we're taking care of children in a family or a senior member of our family, any type of caregiving, we're always giving out to someone else. So therefore, we don't always have the energy to give to ourselves and give ourselves self-care when we really need it. So when I say make your own self-care a priority, I mean a priority over everyone and every single thing. It is you and God and self-care, and this is the plan. Because you can't really effectively give to anyone else when you're not able to give to yourself in such a way that it heals you, that it becomes a part of your healing routine. And believe me, you do something long enough, you do something enough, it's going to become a part of your routine in your life. They say that it takes 21 days to make a habit, right? Well, I guess it could. I mean, I'm kind of a believer that if the more you repeat something, you're going to have a tendency of making that a part of a habit in your life. So keep repeating it and it will become a habit. And while you're caring for others, self-care will become a part of your habit as well and a priority. So especially when you're going through the emotions of a betrayal, or someone has hurt you very, very deeply, that's something that it's almost like a grieving process. You're going to become angry. You're going to cry. You're going to go into maybe denial again. And, all of the gamut of what we go through when we grieve things. So make that self-care something that's very good for your mental health. Your mental health is important. Number one, it gives you self-love, and it's essential for your recovery. The next one is forgiveness. And I know that this is a hard one for so many people because we think that when we are forgiving someone, we're letting them off the hook. When we forgive them, we're supposed to go back, zooming into their life like nothing has ever happened and not allowing them to be accountable. That's not what this means at all. It never lets another person off the hook for doing something really mean to you. Do I need to say that again? Forgiveness. Forgiveness never, ever lets the person who hurt you off the hook. They need to be responsible for their own stuff. And that means being sorry for what they've done. It means making amends for what they've done. It means an explanation at least for what they've done. So let's suck this back to you and say that forgiveness is for your benefit. This is between you and God, and you have said, I release the responsibility from the inside of me of having to tend to that person or try to explain to them how they need to make this up to me or shouldn't have done this to me. It's not about punishing the other person. Forgiveness is for you. It's between you and God, and it helps keep your heart right. It helps the healing process. It's a personal choice. It is not the choice of the betrayer or anyone else that's around you. This is something that is done within the capacity of privacy and maybe secrecy and just mindfully. And I'm just going to leave it at that, because wherever your faith is, wherever your belief system is, draw all that in. Draw all that in and around you and with you, and make all of those things that you spiritually believe and love, especially love and self-love, bring that into the experience of forgiveness. Now, what you can also do is you can do a mindful exercise, and you can breathe in forgiveness in from, energetically, in from the love of God, however you feel, see it, in from the angels. You can breathe in that forgiveness and then breathe it on out as you do your breathing exercises, because whatever you send out there into the universe, God has made it and created it in a certain way that you're going to get back in spades what you put out. So if you want to be forgiven for things that you might mess up and do, be a forgiver. And Jesus, taught that all the time. That's what it is. Don't judge lest you be judged. If you want forgiveness from your Father in heaven, then you need to learn how to forgive others. And that's the bottom line. You get back what you put out. So put it all out there and make it real, and do it until you feel it is real, no matter how many times it takes you, because this is your life, and you, remember, are important, and you're a priority. Reevaluate the relationship. Reevaluate whether you want that relationship or not, whether you feel guided toward maintaining that relationship, whether you want to give the person another chance or another opportunity, whether you want to keep that friendship and maybe heal it, whether you want to do something about the coworker that betrayed you, and maybe you lost a promotion. I don't know. I mean, there's so many different scenarios, but reevaluate how you want to deal with the person that betrayed you. Betrayal is a conscious decision, unfortunately. Nobody accidentally betrays another person. So keep that in mind, okay? It's intentional, and someone has to, I almost want to say, be calculated about it. They have to decide. And then they take that decision powered by whatever it is that's going on inside with their emotions, and they come up with a plan and they do it. No one accidentally cheats on you. No one accidentally lies about you. No one accidentally tries to trip you up. Okay? These are calculated things. So reevaluate how you want to interact with that person from now on. Do you want a relationship with someone who would calculatingly do that to you? And how far that forgiveness is going to cover them. God can cover them. They can certainly change. That's their business, though. If you're looking at change in a person, like you have a romantic relationship, maybe it's a marriage, maybe it's someone you're considering marrying, and you're looking for change, let it be change over time, because it takes time for a person to make that change. And create boundaries. That's the next step, is create boundaries. Say, okay, you can make a time boundary. You can say, all right, if I see this person has changed over a period of time, I feel like this might be safe. Okay, but once again, bounce this off of someone who is maybe a professional, or someone who really knows you very well, is going to be honest with you, a very good listener. Create those boundaries in a way that protects your heart, that protects your livelihood, that will protect your peace of mind. Keep your mindfulness, that protects your faith, that protects the life that you live, right? And your stream of happiness in life, your ability to create happiness. Make sure those boundaries are ones that protect you. You don't have to protect them, okay? Their life is their life. Let them live it. Sometimes you have to just let go and just let them go. Just seriously, let them. And you don't have to accept someone's explanation right away. There's nothing written in stone that says, okay, I accept that. You can listen. You can listen to their sorrow. You can listen to their apology. You can be as gracious as anybody could possibly be. But don't forget your boundaries. And don't forget, once again, that there is no instant change in anyone. We're not instant oatmeal. We are made to process things within ourselves. And anybody who can be calculated enough to betray you in such a way it has emotionally harmed you probably isn't a person that you're going to want to trust very easily anytime soon. Okay? So practice, some mindfulness. Do some deep breathing. Do some meditation, some yoga. Practice the mindful minute. If you don't have a whole lot of time, or if you're not used to being mindful or meditating, practice a prayerful minute or a prayerful 5 minutes, and you will come to know and come to realize that the release that you receive through these practices are worth their weight in gold, and you're going to love them. It's like running and jumping into a big bag of feathers and going, this just feels so good. You'll cry, you'll laugh, you'll journal. Practice. Believe me, you will come to love it. You will gain emotional awareness, deeper insights regarding your own personal feelings and your reactions, and regarding maybe the person who created a betrayal. It's amazing the spiritual insights you can get just from putting it out there in prayer and listening. Prayer and meditation is just talking and listening. And that's it. And a lot of relaxing. And that really helps the insides of your body as well. Because don't mistake yourself. Don't kid yourself. You have emotions that pack dynamite inside of you. And your body eventually, if something is rubbed against your heart the wrong way long enough, and coupled with many other things, it could wreak havoc on your body physically and eventually. It might not show up right away, or maybe it could, but over time, if you don't deal with these things and don't learn how to be good for yourself and good to yourself, then you can really cause a lot of physical damage. And we don't want that to happen. You don't deserve that. And please don't do that to yourself. Go to someone and talk to a professional if you're having problems and you're having a struggle with something that someone has done to you and some of the emotional trauma that it might bring up. Okay, and so last but not least, let's have some patience. Patience with yourself is so important. It's critical, it's crucial. It is emotional recovery. It's not linear. It happens over time. You might have some ups and downs. Don't think it's microwave instant. Again, you are not instant oatmeal. You have things to deal with and utilize whatever pain comes up from whatever anyone else has done to you in your life. Allow that pain to give you permission to dive and delve into whatever else is hanging on to it. You might be very sensitive to certain things that people do, and there might be a real good reason for that. And it might be a good opportunity to find out what that reason is. Excavate, learn about yourself. You're interesting. You are incredible. You're a healer. You are someone who deals with a lot. If you live in this world, you deal with a lot. You have strength. You have the ability to heal yourself from the inside out and down to a physical level, sometimes if you need it. Emotional release can have amazing physical benefits, and it could save some of your physical health. So, I'm not saying this is definite, okay? I'm just kind of putting things out here that you might consider. Do some more research. Go to my blog at lifelessonsbyjeninemarie.com. Read some of my articles. I usually give references and sources for my articles and things that I write on my blog posts. Read some of those things and take some and glean some of the references and dig into learning about yourself and learning about healing and how to get over betrayal. You never know. Some of the things that happen to you in your life might lead you right into the purpose of your life. So, for everything that gives you life, that's what I want for you. I want it for me, but I want it for you as well. Otherwise, I would not be doing this video or this audio teaching. And right now, I'm doing some of my own healing. So you don't really see me in person. You kind of hear my voice. But, I'm going through some metamorphosis and transformation myself and working on some healing. So if you go into the healing professions, that is amazing. That means icing on the ice cream. It's like chocolate covers, the chocolate dribbles all over your ice cream. It is the cherry on top. It is, you have utilized and come to a point where you've taken the betrayal, you've been taken the lies, you've taken the upset, the emotions, all of the healing, the journey, and you turn it into pudding. And it becomes your life purpose. And that, my dear, is kudos to the 100th power. So I really do hope that this has sparked some mindfulness for you, something to think about. It's not meant to be full teaching for you. You might need to sit down and actually go through a course. Go to Daily Om. There's always courses there. Or hire a life coach, hire a counselor for just a period of time. Doesn't have to be forever. Nothing is ever forever except God's love for you. And that is something I hope for you and want for you every single day of your life and beyond. So I am just going to end with that and say I am loving you from here. And cheers, and here's to your healing. Bye-bye.